The body never sits to meditate. The body sits to disappear. Remember that. The waker must disappear, must get out of the way. And that's when the peripheral witnessing awareness becomes aware of itself. So when the waker is still, what will happen? The body arising will disappear in a moment. Thoughts will start quietening down. Sensations will be wiped away. Perception of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch does not bother. That which was knowing all this drama, that will turn towards itself. That is the meaning of the witnessing awareness space itself, turning away from the dazzling waking towards dreaming and deep sleep, moving higher towards its own existence. Can you simply be? Allow the waker to disappear. Now focus here at the periphery, at the knowingness level. That which is knowing the waker sitting still, that which is knowing the sound of Ekta's voice, that which is knowing the thoughts arising regarding this wisdom. Are you here? Do you notice the room is inside you? The computer, the table, everything is inside you, the witnessing awareness field. You are that space in which all this is. It's such a simple seeing. I've been seeing it since childhood. Do you recognize that? As a child you said, Mama, there are these two eyes on me continuously. What are those eyes? They're not really two eyes. It felt like there is something here that is constantly watching this. That is the witnessing awareness space. Now maintain that throughout verse 17, because only that can see this. The waker is not there in deep sleep to see it. But this witnessing awareness space, this peripheral knowingness, is what is there in deep sleep. So, who carries the memory of deep sleep? This witnessing awareness space. Even if the body picks up a pen and starts writing, the witnessing awareness field knows that there is movement, there is motion of the hand. Yeah? If the body starts picking up a glass of water and drinking water from it, the witnessing awareness field knows this is happening. Where is knowingness happening? Here. Yeah. Body only pretends that I know. This is only pretense. This is reality. Yeah? So stay here. Here. Not here. Here. Clear? Now from this level, start recognizing that memory is stored at the peripheral witnessing awareness level, not at the body-mind level, because the body-mind is not there in the deep sleep. Now bring up the memory of the most recent deep sleep, wherever you realize there is nothing in deep sleep. Do you recognize you're drawing a blank? What is the blank? That is the memory. The blankness is the memory because there is nothing there. Something or someone is missing there. You're drawing this blank. Do you realize this? That is you, because you are there knowing the blankness, and you are here pulling that memory up and seeing it right now. It is that simple. It is that simple. You want it to be all sparkly and magnificent and some great thing coming up, but no, that is it. That blankness is you standing there knowing the absence of something or someone. That's it. Blankness, you are knowing blankness. That blank that you are drawing up, that is the memory of the nothingness just before you, just after the last dream collapses and just before the Turyavastha happens. You naturally move from knowing nothing to not existing. These are two separate aspects. The sense of I, the peripheral awareness field, knows there is nothing center stage. When is this happening? Right after the last dream collapses and the deep sleep begins. I is still standing there. The peripheral knowingness is there. Oh, there is nothing. There is no dream. There is no waking. There is nothing. There is nothing. There is nothing. That is the memory you retain. And that is the blankness you just pulled up. You drew a blank the moment Ekta said, bring up the deep sleep memory. And there's nothing. That. Now, there is a second phase to that. You will come to a point where you will not even be able to know the nothing. What does that mean? The peripheral witnessing field, when it knows there is nothing interesting happening center stage, its lights also dim. It rests in its own glory. That resting is what we describe as the collapse of the I sense. Collapse means what? It's not dying. It's basically resting, going to sleep. As in, the drop goes back into the ocean, merges with the ocean, becomes one with nobodiness and nothingness. Okay. Now hold on to that recognition, and I will read verse 17 and then we will move ahead from where we just stopped, where the peripheral witnessing field or the I sense collapsed or went to sleep, rested, abiding in its own glory, whatever words you like. Verse 17. Vayur anilam amrutam athidam bhasmantam shariram. Om krutosmara kritam smara krutosmara kritam smara. In this verse, the sage is saying that the prana, the so-called prana, the breath, that disappeared completely. There is no breath in deep sleep. Do you recognize that? Even in that memory of nothing. Nothing means there is no breath, no prana. Do you realize that? When I ask you what was there in deep sleep, can you say there was breath in deep sleep? No. What do you say? There's nothing there. Yeah? So what are you saying? There is no breath there. Do you get it? You don't have to say exactly those words. There is no breath there. You're saying there is nothing there, which means there is no breath there. But I still am, because I am the one who's carrying that memory of nothing. There is who's saying so confidently, there is nothing there. Means I was there to know the absence of everything, no? Including the absence of prana. So the prana is dissolved, or it becomes one with the Brahman, the cosmic force. The second part of that is the body has become bhasma. Bhasma means ashes. It's a poetic way. There are no ashes there. Do you see ashes in deep sleep? No, I don't see real ashes. But basically the body is not there. The body has disappeared. So when you say there is nothing in deep sleep, what are you really saying? There is no physical body in deep sleep. Do you see that? That is the meaning of this verse. It's very high level. It comes from direct seeing of the sage. It's not poetry just for the sake of poetry, something that is put together when death happens to the body. No, we are not talking about that at all. We are talking about moving higher to recognizing that though the body is not there, though the breath is not there, I still am. Yeah? The Jnani knows, I am not this body. One day this body will turn to ash. One day this breath will merge with the air. I am that immortal awareness that witnesses their absence every single night. After the last dream, I am standing there and knowing nothing. That is why I come out and say there was nothing in deep sleep. Clear? Please remember, we are working on this from a very high level, from Advaita Vedanta level. Advaitam path calls this a cremation sutra. When death happens in the family, you just say this and it's done. No, rites and rituals, chanting mantras is not going to help you in any way. The true recognition that this happens every night. The body has disappeared. It is not there in deep sleep. The breath has disappeared. It is not there in deep sleep. But I still am. And how do I know I still am? Because I am the one confidently saying here that there is nothing there. I am giving that answer. So I had to be there to see the nothing, to know the nothing, to recognize the absence of something. I was there. And I'm carrying that memory out to the waking and so confidently and authoritatively saying, there is nothing there. Do you see this? So this is the most important point here in this sutra. Second part is he saying krito smara, kritam smara. Always remember that. Bring that self-remembrance. This is also an important sutra on many paths. On Kabir's path also we use remember. Yeah, remembrance is an important sutra. What are we remembering here? I am remembering that I am that witnessing awareness field that was knowing the absence of the body, of the breath, of the world, of my attachments, of love, hatred, anger, passion, all that was absent. It was a big zero. And I know the absence. Means I still am. I exist. Yeah. This is your first foot into the door where you recognize I exist. The Jijivisha aspect of existence has been recognized. Clear? I hope I explained that properly here. Yeah. Krito smara, kritam smara. Very important. Remember that which you truly are. And kritam smara. Remember what you have accomplished from that. This seeing, this atmanyana. Oh, fantastic. Very few people really can get there. Very few people can diminish the dazzling light of the waking and dream, get out of the idea that I am the waker and dream character, and get to that point of I am the fourth. I see this. It's amazing. It's invaluable. So kritam smara means remember what you have accomplished. If you have accomplished it in your swapna nidra jnana sadhana. Krito smara, kritam smara. Krito smara is for the first part where you already know the answer. You see it. You know it is nothing. That even a child knows. Kritam smara, that which I have already accomplished, my Atmanyana, that which has come from my Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana, that I see now. Yeah? I recognize, oh, I still am. I exist. I exist. When the body is not, I am. When the breath is not, I am. This seeing will deliver the supreme truth to you. That's why I never get confused that I am Ekta. I know I am not Ekta. She just arose. She was not here till now. The moment I said the word Ekta, this body arising appeared. Till that time, there was only some words here and there going on, known. Yeah, so become astute, turn inwards. If you are not able to see this, it means you have not turned inwards totally. Yeah. Turn inwards. So Mandukya parallel, this is the deep sleep state. Recognizing this verse 17 has been drawn as a parallel to the deep sleep state of Mandukya Upanishad. It corresponds to Sushupti. Means in deep sleep, prana is not there. Yeah? So there is no breath. In deep sleep, body is not there. There is no body. But I still know that there is nothing, which means that is the proof I am. That is the proof I am. Yeah? So Kritosmara, this part everybody has. Till here that I explained, this part everybody has. Even a little kid says, no, there is nothing in deep sleep, Mama. Yeah, so this is the Kritosmara part. Now comes the Kritam Smara part for the people who started practicing Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana, all Gurukul participants, where you see really that the I is standing alone, it knows nothing, it knows nothing, it knows nothing, and I am beyond knowing the collapse of this I. I recognize one moment there was the sense of I am knowing nothing, which means I exist, and next second the I exist also dissolved and disappeared. That's when you truly see Ramana Maharshi's point that the I is only a thought. If you don't see the I return back to its source, it means you do not see that I is only a thought. Yeah, so the collapse of the I delivers the conviction to me that I really see that I is only a thought. It disappeared and I saw it disappear. I know it disappears. There is a point in deep sleep before which there is the sense of I am knowing nothing, and after which I am is also gone. This is the deeper level seeing of deep sleep. You only remember there is nothing in deep sleep. For that phase, I am is standing tall. I exist. And a point comes when that also collapses and you know the collapse. Who found out that the I is no more now? That is who I am. Now you've reached Turiya Tita. Beyond Turiya. Turiya Tita. Till the time the I was knowing nothing, that was Turiya Avastha. When the Turiya collapses in deep sleep and there is a clear knowing that the sense of existing is not there. And suddenly after some time, we don't know how long your Turiya state lasts. You call it deep sleep. So in the waker's language, we don't know how long your deep sleep lasts. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, according to the waking time, which does not exist in deep sleep really. Suddenly you will see the I come back up. There's a sense of existing. I know that there is nothing again. Yeah. And then the I does not like nothing. Now it projects something, and that something is usually a dream. Whatever comes up in your dream, happy or sad, angry, nightmare, romantic, whatever. The content of the dream is not important. Yeah. Just before that first dream, you have the opportunity to see the I is standing alone. Just standing alone. Just standing alone. That is the most important thing. Yeah? So you have two windows, two opportunities to see this I standing alone. One is after the last dream, when the I collapses into its own true nature, abiding in its own glory. That's when I know, oh, I is only a thought. It just disappeared. And I know it disappeared. Yeah. And when it comes up, it comes back up. It's not the same I. It's another thought, which claims to be the same I. Please remember that. It is just pretending to be the same I. It's just another thought. It's standing alone. It's standing alone. That's when you recognize I exist. There's just that feeling of being, existing. And a point will come where you're not comfortable standing alone, and there you project the first dream. Yeah, so these are two windows of opportunity. And both of these are known at the witnessing awareness level. Don't even for a minute think that the waker can get there. The waker cannot get there, because the waker disappears at the end of the waking. Yeah, so you have to first practice being the witness in the waking. Again and again, again and again. Krito smara, if you have not gotten there. And those who have gotten there, all the Gurukul students, Kritam smara. I have seen either the collapse of the I or the arising. Let me see the other. Yeah, let me complete my understanding. Some of us have not seen both, no? That's why we are in Gurukul. That's why we are working on ourselves, so that I can see both. So ask yourself that question. Do I know the deep sleep is nothing but an absence of waking and dream? Do you know that? How many of you know that the waking is absent and the dream is absent? Now ask yourself, if I know, that means I have to be there, no? Yes, that means I am there. I am there. Number 3, if I am there, what does it suggest? I am not this body-mind person and whatever the name is. I am not this name and form. Have I realized these basics? Can I attempt to see these 3 basics in every Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana? And just remember it in the morning, or if you've taken an afternoon nap, after you come out of the deep sleep, pull up your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana book. Remember it. Yes, I recognized that this body-mind was not there. There was nothing there. And I recognize means I was there. Even if you're writing the same thing every day, doesn't matter. It's important to build your self-conviction in your seeing. Do you get it? That's why journaling is important. Because the viper of the now will come and wipe away all this knowledge. Do you recognize this? Whatever we spoke in verse 15 has been wiped away. Yeah, because the now does a good job of wiping everything clean. Before it wipes it away, I need to write down my self-conviction again and again and again. And a zillion times when I write it down, I recognize, yes, I know the deep sleep absence means I am there. Can I move to the next step of recognizing just that feeling of I exist? That's it. There is that feeling when the I is standing alone, I exist. It's not in words. Ekta has to explain it, so she's using the words I exist. It's not in English, not in Malayalam, not in French, not in Tamil. No. It's a sense of I exist and I'm knowing nothing. And suddenly that also vanishes. Zoop. When that vanishes, you have recognized what? That I was only a thought. Otherwise, who observed it vanish? Yeah, so now that is how I progress from Turiya to Turiyatita. I am the beyond. That which noticed this Turiya vanish. It's very clear, no? I sense is equal to Turiya is equal to witnessing awareness field. It's just described in different words. When that only I sense pretends to be Ekta, it becomes the ego. And when that I sense detaches from all identification and stands alone, it recognizes it is the witness of Ekta. It is not Ekta. Yes? Is this very clear? And that only I sense, when it has recognized, I'm not just the witness of the waker Ekta, I'm the witness of the dream character flying in the dream world and the absence of the waking and dream. Now it is only Turiya. So get it? The same ego is equal to the I sense, is equal to Turiya. And that same Turiya, that I sense, that ego, that collapses at the end of the last dream when there's nothing to know, nothing to keep it captivated, nothing to keep it dazzled. So now it collapses into its own nature. That which knows the collapse, oh, I am beyond even Turiya, I am Turiyatita. And that's how you come to Nispanda Chaitanya. Yeah, Nispanda Chaitanya. It's on the slide here. You finally come to the recognition of consciousness at rest. Those who are in Gurukul and have seen either the collapse or the arising, you have recognized this Nispanda consciousness, Nispanda Chaitanya. Yeah? For you, the instruction is Kritam Smara. You stay with that. Stay with that. Don't allow that invaluable knowledge to fizzle away. It is self-knowledge. It is my own insight. I saw it. Ekta didn't come into my Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana and plant some Nispanda Chaitanya there. No. I saw it. Yes. Again, Nispanda consciousness or Nispanda Chaitanya doesn't have eyes to see. Please understand, it is just the way I am expressing. It is just a recognition that the sense of I am was there and suddenly it has collapsed. Only that much recognition is there. It's a sense. You sense it yourself because you are pure consciousness. You are Nispanda Chaitanya. In you, Turiya had arisen, played its game for a little while, pretended to be the ego, came back to its Turiya state, stood alone. When it got bored of standing alone, it dissolved. Who saw it dissolve? That is me. That is Nispanda Chaitanya. You cannot see yourself. You cannot turn towards yourself and see yourself as Nispanda Chaitanya. You sense it. You recognize yourself indirectly when the I collapses. Yeah? You can sense I exist and you can sense the absence of I exist. Yeah? Who is recognizing? So, indirectly, I know I am recognizing the absence of the I sense. That completes verse 17. In a nutshell, it is Sushupti, deep sleep. So verse 15 is waking, Jagrat Avastha. Verse 16 is Swapna Avastha. And verse 17 is Sushupti or deep sleep. 15, 16, 17. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. There's a little poetry that in Sanskrit was added to this. The breath returned to its origin, the body to dust. The mind whispered its last remembrance. I was never born, only Om remains. What is Om? The recognition, Aham Brahmasmi. I am this Nispanda Chaitanya. I am Brahman. That is Om. Only Om remains, nothing else. Your daily sleep is a gateway to the highest truth. So see that you now make Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana a priority. Very important. I must not take this lightly. At the end I will give you Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana instructions and see that you start practicing on a daily basis if you have not started yet. Those who are in Gurukul and have already started practicing and your practice has become all weak and diminished, now again pull up the socks. Yes. Again from the beginning, start all the Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana direct seeing. Look at the 2 books on Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. Post in the book club. That posting itself keeps you motivated. Do you see that? Just keep posting in the book club. Constantly. Whatever you see. Every morning must write down whatever happened in the dream. Doesn't matter. Ekta says content is not important, but maybe something comes out of this. Just write it down. Before the dream, during the dream, after the dream. Was there a sense of I exist? Did I recognize there is nothing? And these are very important pointers. These could be done on a daily basis. Yes. So hold on to your practice. It will take you to Nispanda Chaitanya. You cannot say, oh, I listened to a Sunday talk and good, I will get there. No. No. Look at the boatloads of impressions that you have. This is the dazzling light. This dazzling light is blinding you. That is why you're not able to see it. You have to have a little bit of dispassion towards this world. A little bit of inward turning comes only from that dispassion, and then that inward turning and seeing my own true self comes only from that mumukshutva. That comes from dispassion. Please know that without that it's not happening. It's not Sunday pravachan you can listen to and see it next day. No. At least give yourself 5 years. 5 years immersion in Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. Morning, night and afternoon nap. If you are lucky enough to take an afternoon nap, please do so. Do it only for the purpose of Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. I must do this. I must get to my nature. It's so easy. All I have to do is sleep. I don't even have to do samadhi. No work. So easy. All I have to do is sleep, and when I wake up, I write. That's it. I don't have to do anything. Don't keep major expectations from yourself. 10 years ago, I would have told you within 2-3 years you can get there. But in the past 10 years, your gadgets and technology has multiplied the distractions tenfold. So the lights have multiplied. Do you recognize this? It's become even more blinding with all your gadgets and attractions on social media, Instagram, Twitter, this, that, I don't know what, TV. Yeah. All those things have, in these past 10-15 years, become too much. You want to be on every platform. So your dazzling lights are not just your attachments of home and family and office now. Now it is spending time on gadgets, which I'm sure the older generation does not have. In 2 minutes, they are tired of the gadget, they put it aside, they go back to their old ways. Yeah, it's this newer generation that is trapped. Yeah? So for you, 5 years. And for the people who are coming from the older generation and are not so hooked on to social media, 2 years for you. Yeah? It's very easy to get over this dazzlement if you are really clear that it cannot deliver happiness. If you still feel, oh no, there is a lot of happiness there, lot of happiness there, lot of happiness there, then be prepared for a long journey. Yeah? The conditioning needs to thin down a little bit more. Clear? Yeah? Verse 17 is the most important. The deep sleep, Sushupti, most important. Yeah? So stay online for 5 minutes during the bio break. If some questions are there, write them to the host now so that you don't forget it when you go on your bio break. Okay? I'll give you a 5 minutes bio break and we'll continue with the last verse after that.